we're going to make a creator-inspired craft. It is a crescent moon, and most of it is using cardboard. So we're going to be repurposing our cardboard. You'll need your water bottle. And because we are repurposing a 12-inch pizza cardboard, you'll need some water to wet that. And you'll need a bowl so that you can cut your shape to form a crescent moon. And just pick out a bowl that's the right size. Or you can cut you a 12-inch round piece of cardboard to make this crescent moon. To prepare this cardboard 12-inch round, we're going to spray it with water. That just gets that corrugated separated from the top layer. So we're going to pull off this paper. You just need to get it good and wet so that it will naturally give of itself when you get ready to separate it. You don't have to like soak it, but you do want to get it wet enough that this will come apart from the rest of the corrugation. And that's what we're after, is pulling off this top piece of paper. And we've done this in previous DIYs, and this DIY is no different. When it's got just a little bit stuck there, you can wet it just a little bit more until you get it to start giving itself. And generally, if you get it the right moisture, you can get the paper peeled off from the corrugated board. And this is what we're after, is this corrugated board. Now I'll share a trick with you on doing this. You want to go in the flow of the corrugation. See how it is running horizontal? And if you get it there and start pulling it, the rest of it will give of itself without leaving any of this paper behind. So that's just a FYI where I have went ahead and pulled that, trying to find that right spot. It only takes you a second to pull that up and pull it with it. So once you get that going the right direction, it'll just come off for you. Just easy as pie. Now we have our board ready. Next I want to cut my circle out. And since this side is smooth, I can mark it over here. I have a tear right there, so I can take that off whenever I cut my circle. And the way you want to do it is you want to get your bowl as your guide right to the edge, because you want it to really look like a crescent moon. And if you do not do that, it's not going to have that crescent moon. It's just going to look like a circle's cut out of it. So get it against that area right there. I'm going to trace this out. I'm going to use my pencil to mark that. Now I have my circle, and I just cut that out. To give my moon a more stability, I'm going to take another sheet of cardboard, and I'm going to trace my moon out on it and glue it to the back of it so that it does have stability. It's just very light and flimsy. As you can tell, this is definitely the generic pizza box. So now I have my other piece cut out, and I can glue these two together. Dare I say perfect. I'm not worried about any of that might be hanging out, because, well, we're going to paint it and it'll be covered, so it looks fantastic. Now I've got two extra pieces of cardboard here. I'm going to create a star on each one of them, and I am making this one smaller than this one. So I'm going to pick the side that I want to use, and on the opposite side is where I plan to practice my star, just in case I have a foul up. And I make my star the old-fashioned way. If you guys remember, in school, you went up, you went down, you went over, back over here, and then back down. And it will end up that you'll have one leg longer than the other possibly, and you can meet them. You can make a perfect star. You can trace a star, and I want to make mine more tall and elongated, so I can enhance this by basically going back where I already was and making it just a little bit bigger. So making the tall one, and it's a lot taller. So I'll start down here, go up, go down, over, over, and then meet the other one. And if I'm happy with that, that's the one I'll cut. If not, then I can, of course, follow it again make it a little bit bigger. So there's my smaller star, and this is my taller one. So now I have my 2 stars. For my crescent moon, I have chosen to use this burnt sienna. And this looks really, really good. So you can go ahead and paint yours the color that you desire. And it doesn't take a whole lot. It really spreads really, really good on your cardboard. You'd be surprised how very little paint you will need to get this covered. And it just takes a second to get it painted. And now I'll let it set aside and dry. It's almost dry. The cardboard really soaks it up fast. Now I'm going to do my stars. On my larger star, I'm going to do this true oche. I have really been loving this. A lot of what I've been doing for the fall have been with this color. So that much right there is probably going to cover this entire piece of cardboard lickety split. With my smaller star, I'm going to go with Barn Red because the Barn Red is real thin. All the apple barrel colors, they're like a lot thin. End up using more to achieve a deeper color. So I'm going over this with a Dandelion Orange Americana. I love my Americana paints. If you want it to look prim, just buy Americana paints. They all complement each other, and you will get that primitive, rustic look without even trying hard. It just straight out of the bottle, you're going to get that. And I went straight over that apple barrel Barn Red, and I want you to look how gorgeous this is with that orange. Love it. Love it. That's what I'm talking about. That's a beautiful orange color. The true oche is already Americana color, and that'll just give you an idea. And if you're looking for a jack-o'-lantern orange, this is the color you want to get. I'm going to put it real close so you can see it. For this next part, I'm going to put a stencil onto my star, and I have this stencil from Dollar Tree. I have a stencil brush. I prefer to use a sponge, but I have not located my sponge, so I'm just going to wing it here. And you can go either way you want. The idea is to put the textured look on there and not necessarily over perfect it. And usually with a stencil brush, you want to work that paint up into the stencil brush. For a sponge, I do declare that I prefer a sponge over a stencil brush, but we're going to work with it, do what we can, and it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be on there. It's what I'm going for. It's what I am desiring to put on my star. It's just a little pattern, and I think it looks neat. I'll go down here and I can get a little more of the pattern on there and just work with it. And it happens kind of fast, having to hold this stencil so you can make it out what I am doing. One over here. Like I said, you don't have to get all of the pattern on there. I like it. That looks great. So this is one of the waxes, and this is Gildan. You can use Gildan. There are different ones that you can find, and this one is the Old Silver, and this is the Alchemy brand. If you haven't ever used it before, you'll really like it. And the rub and wax, they come in every color you can think of. This one is a metallic, and just to show you how very little you use of it, and you can just kind of rub it where you want it. And I had put some on the back of this board. Just do just a little, and I mean just a hairline dab, get this silvery look going on with these waxes, or any of them, whatever color you choose, a metallic, and you can just rub with them and accent stuff. And it just never seems to be too much of it. You can really truly enjoy these and get some contrast without overdoing it. And the fact that it's going to preserve your paint at the same time, because it is in fact wax, and it will stay. So there's no worries about having to put any kind of sealer or coating on it. Once you put it on, it's there. You see just how gorgeous it works. It's just great. And you can put that wherever you like, as little or as much. And so that's already done, just that quick. We get this galvanized barn look. That's really, really neat. So that's a product you can try out if you haven't already. It's pretty much a rub and buff. The difference is you can get these in all kinds of colors. And this is just one of probably 100. I have several myself that I really like. With this, I want to put some dry brushing around it, maybe some antiquing wax. It's cardboard, so we'll see how it reacts with the antiquing wax. I have not done any antiquing, but I may end up messing up my work, not realizing it. But I'm just going to brush over it real quick and see what we get. Don't take a whole lot of that antiquing wax anyway. And once again, it's going to preserve your paint and coloring that you have on there. This is just a towel. How you like that? Looks pretty good. And we can antique this one as well. It's got that orange, and I like that orange, but it will preserve the paint as well. This is what's left on the brush. That way they're not so powdery and dry either. Okay, that looks pretty good. I really like the way this turned out. This looks really old-timey looking. I mean, it just old-timeyed it right up. Distress it with my ink, my distressing ink. And this is the vintage photo. This is more on the brown side. Just going to hit the edges here and see how that does. And then I have my buffing brush, and I can use this one and just, you can hit the edges and bring it in a little deeper. Just really blends it out. It just looks fantastic. You can just see the difference before your eyes. And there's no need for me to go entirely that much, because I'm going to be decorating this and putting some stuff on it. So just the edges is just fine with me. And therefore, you know, it just really gives it that 10-star look. And I'll do this one, and you'll be able to see it a lot better. You can truly just deepen up those sides and buff it. And you can always go a different direction like this, like I'm just doing a round. Now, what do you think of that? That just looks brilliant. Just really gives it that old-fashioned look. Now we have our aging done on our star. Now, even though I have blushed that up with my distressing ink, I have my black ink pad here. And I am curious to see if I can make it a little bit deeper enhancement on my star here versus the brown. I really like the brown, but I think that maybe the black might just do this one better, since it is the orange and red together. How's that? I think that just really truly hit it. I like that even better. I've gathered my bells, and I have my cheesecloth. We have all of our parts and a ribbon. I'm going to use some homespun. So I have my Spanish moss here, and I'm just going to put some around this area, just like the inspired piece is doing. And it will only take a small amount, but if you're like me, you get this mess everywhere. So it's better to have a tray to where you can put that moss on it. Don't take a lot for this area. And sometimes if you go ahead and shape it and get it ready, put some glue on there and go to laying that in. And you can put it right on the edge, sometimes doing just that edge. I got my moss on. It looks pretty good. I'm also going to add some of this Dollar Tree berry vine. I could not find the cream color. I only have the autumn color that's like the burgundy And this has like a beige rustic type orange. I like it a lot better. And it just so happens that this is put together right where I'm going to take it apart, because I only need that small fraction of this garland to go on my little crescent moon here, and to just give it some more oomph. So once again, I'm just going to glue that right here. I think I'll do like I did with the moss here. I'm just going to kind of put it on the top. I'm just going to put the glue right on the vine. The berry vine is in place. Now to get this star, I'm going to set this star and the crescent moon upright to see where that star is going to sit. Make sure it's straight. So that seems to be the right spot for the crescent, for the star. Actually, I'll just put some glue on the back. Don't need a whole lot. Just need to make sure it hits in all the right spots. And then I can set this up, because once it hits it, it's going to stick. Let me talk to you about this bow maker. And this one is definitely under $10, and it's more economical and affordable. It has 12 of the wooden pegs that comes with it, instructions on how the bows are made, and it has all of the holes in the right places. You can make every single bow that you can think of with this. So I'm going to try it out for the first time and see how it does. Now, what's in the box? In bow maker for ribbon, it has 12 of these pegs with it, and it has the board, and your instructions are right here on the back if you want to read them and utilize those to make your bows. Real simple. Now, I'm only going to need 2 of these at all times. I don't know that I will ever even use these unless you're doing a gigantic bow. You can work to one side. You can, of course, use the center ones here and here, depending on the size of your bow. And you just put those pegs exactly where you feel you need them. And that will determine the inner and outer perimeter of your bow. And then, you know, practice makes perfect. So you can try it out and see which size you need, where you want your pegs, are all equally divided. So if you just needed to work more in this width, or close it up, or as I said before, you can spread it out and make it even larger, and just determine how big you need it. If you're doing the more sophisticated ones with the 4 corner loops and stuff, you can naturally put your pegs where you need them. So it works real good. It's very smooth, it's well made, and it's great quality. It is devised at the size you need, and it has the go through as well. So for example, if you wanted to put your ribbon over here and use these as your guides, or vice versa, you could use 3 pegs instead. So to show off this bow maker, for example, you have distance. Now, a lot of people don't ever put their roll on to one of the dowels at one end, and say you're working here and you're creating a bow. And I'm going to be working kind of awkwardly, but I'm going to separate this out. Now, this distance is going to determine your loops, how wide or how big your bow is. If you already have an idea of the distance that you want, where you're wanting that bow, and say you want that bow that size, you would just set your pegs there. Now, this is just a standard bow, and it's real simple. I'm going to be showing it to you as best I can. I have my fabric, and I'm going to put them around. Now, this is basically the back side of your bow. Wherever your tails are coming out is the back side of your bow. So super easy. Now, I've brought these together. I'm going to cross them over. This is my anchor tail that's in my right hand. This one is my working tail. I'm going to take that and I'm going to slide it under everything. Just grab hold of it. Now you see how it's coming out the whole back side. I still have my anchor tail in place. I'm simply going to bring that tail back over. I still have my anchor tail in my right hand. I have my working tail coming over. Now you can easily make you the number 4. See how that's going there? Just so you can see when they mean the hole. So this is my working. I still have my anchor, and I'm basically going to bring it up through the hole. When I do, I'm going to hold this tail and I'm going to pull it to the right. Now only because I'm right-handed, and you can kind of wiggle this so you work it, and you can, of course, you know, do a little more. So I've gotten that tight. I've got my little knot going here. When you turn this around, this is your bow. See your bow right there? And of course you can slide it off the pegs, and now you have your bow. That's a basic bow right there, just a basic bow. And you can tighten this up, you can adjust it, get it as free as you want to save on your tails. And this helps reduce your waste, and you have more of your rib. Let me just go ahead and exemplify. So now I have my 2 tails. This one has wire in it, and if I'm just making a regular bow, I'll crisscross those over. Now I'm going to adjust this because I know that I want this tail to be almost as short as this one on this side. I'm going to take that, I'm going to pass it underneath all of them. You see it coming out the back here, and it works the same way. You're still going to go back over the top. I'm going to pull that down. I'm going to make my 4 per se. I'm going to bring it under, up through that hole, and again, holding that anchor tail, pulling this out and over to the right, which I'm going to pull it up. This is your bow, and you can bring your tails back under. When you are working with 2-sided ribbon, this is a case where you would pretty much twist it when you brought it around if you were concerned about it showing up wrong. So I'm going to make sure that I've got that tied tight. You can adjust it once you get it off of your dowels. Now you can pull your dowels out, or you can slide it off, and now you have your smaller bow, and you already got it centered into place. Super, super easy, and just plain adorable bow. And then just clip your tails if you need to in order to adjust them and get them situated. And of course, if you felt that you needed to shape your bow a little more, you can do that too. And voila, we have our bow. And then I can chisel this, easy one. I fold and I cut towards the wire at a 45-degree angle. There we go, our little bow. I'll put a link for the bow maker in the description box, so that if you wish to purchase this bow maker, it's a little more budget friendly and affordable, you can definitely find the link and go straight over there. Save you a lot of time, money, a lot of energy, and it's just perfect. Just perfect little bow. So we made our smaller bow, and I've clipped it down even more. Now, uniquely, I can just fold those tails back here, or I can take them off altogether. What I want to do now is show you the double bow, and that's going to be in the background behind this one. Now what's unique about that is you have your 2 pegs. I already know that is the size of this bow, and I want this one to show a little bit bigger. You just move your pegs to where you feel you need it. That's another 1/2 inch bigger, or maybe I want it to be a whole inch big. And you've got your fabric, and remember this, whatever you have as your working tail is going to be what's continuing, but the length that you leave over here, your anchoring tail, that is how long the tail is going to be. So if you are preferring to make sure that that's shorter, then you can just basically smooth it around. If you're right-handed, left-handed, it'd be the opposite. And so if I want my tail to be at least 4 inches long or so, that's about where it's going to be when it ties up. Just so you know, if you're hitting the middle and it's tied up, that's how long your tail is going to be. And that's how you can judge it. So if you're doing a double bow, you're of course going to bring it here and crisscross it. You will then go around those pegs again. And when you bring it this time, remember, you need to pass this under all of that. So you're going to push it all the way over to the back, bring it out or once. So we have our working tail, we have our anchor tail, and we're going to make that 4, that letter 4, crossing that across our anchor tail, and then we're going to bring it up through the hole that we created with our 4. And remember, you're going to pull it over to the right. You've still got your anchor tail. You want to keep that anchor tail centered, and you're going to pull this tight, and that is your bow. So now that you have all this extra, that you can clip it where you want. You can slide this off of the pegs, and voila, you have your 2-loop double bow. How neat is that? That's simple. So if you like this bow maker and you're in the market for one, I encourage you to check out the link down below. Purchase this bow maker at a very affordable, frugal price. That way you have an extra set of hands to help you make beautiful bows. You can make them as large or as small as you like. And this one can make a pretty big reef bow. You can make double loops, triple loops, quadruple loops, however big you want your bows to be. Of course, remember to use a 3rd dowel so you can wind your ribbon off of it. And that just makes it keep you organized, and you can do the same thing, just wrap it around. With our bows made, let's go ahead and start putting them on our wreath. And in looking at this, I'm going to use some of my cheesecloth. I want a little bit of that peeking through up here. And I'm just going to get me a few pieces, and I want them kind of hanging down out from underneath my bows. Odd pieces here that I have pulled off previous DIY. And I just want to kind of pose them back there. I think they'll look really neat against this homespun bow there. It's looking really sweet. Pose that and see how these are looking together. Just having that little bit of homespun sticking out there. And those will go down first, and they can be moved about. A little bit of show. I like that. I think it looks really good. If I don't, I can clip it off. I'm going to go ahead and anchor those. And it don't take much to get those there in place. Now, next I can put my homespun bow. Now I want to add some dry florals to my crescent moon, and I have this pack. I've had it a long time. It's all different colors. You can find these real easy. A lot of times they'll have like these little small pieces down at the bottom, and I'm going to try and aim for those first and simplify this and just get me a few pieces out of here. I also have me some Sweet Annie, and I have recently bought this. This is pieces that break off when they are harvesting it, and you can buy these bundles. And of course I found a really great seller on Etsy, so I will be harvesting me some Sweet Annie hopefully next year and have it available so that if you guys want to purchase it. But as for now, I am growing mine by seed, and I have this little box of these pieces, as they call it, Sweet Annie, hence the name from how wonderful it smells. And when I don't mean sweet like sugar fruit, I mean like this most divine sweet smell, because wormwood is how you get Sweet Annie. I'm gonna put some of these sprigs onto my crescent moon here and just feed them in here. Oh goodness, this smells so good. Just divine, and stick them on about and underneath my bows. Just get them fed in there. And same here, I'll take some of these pieces, plant them all about in here. Plant them all around my bow. Now just really start changing it, make it look wonderful. How's that looking to you? I'm really liking it. Really, really liking it. I love the way this purple is bouncing off of the other colors here. Some of this orangish golden color. Try to blend that in there. I think that'd look good. I really like how that looks. It looks really, really good. Really, really good. It just looks like they're bursting out from around the bows. Just our bow. Feel like it needs any more. Definitely put it on there. Now we need to work on our star. And I'm going to put a bell in the center. I have this big rusty bell. I also have these, but I don't see how that's going to suit this particular medium. So I'm going to put it there between the two bows. I think that'll look really neat. Put the glue first because I want my bell to keep ringing. And just plant it there and let that glue set up and cool. And then these, I can take my burgundy star, and with the burgundy star that's going to be going here, I want to put a few pieces like in the center here, and then I'm going to wrap it with some twine. And this will just make everything kind of matte and go together, make a bundle. Let's add a few of these pieces, just kind of make it all go together. Looks pretty good right there. Need a little green because we got green up there. Not that much, but just a smidge. I'm telling you, it smells so wonderful with this Sweet Annie in there. It just smells so good. I've got that bundle there, and the inspiration they took and wrapped some jute twine around this center. So we're going to do the same thing. You just take and just wind it. We have that cheesecloth there, so that's going to make that bundle look really good. Just wrap it as many times as it takes to make you content. My jute twine stay the way I want it. A little bit of glue always fixes that, doesn't it? No more arguments out of that jute twine. It's for dang sure. It's there now. Hope that's looking good to you. And we can buckle it here. I would like for that to be a little bit risen up because of my tails coming down from my bow and not having to shorten them as much. So I think I want to raise that cardboard up, which means I can glue a piece of cardboard behind it, and that'll help raise it up just slightly. And I'm going to double it, actually. Roll it up. See if that gives me enough puff. Yeah, that's about right there. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I will put it here. Isn't that funny? It fits in there. I guess because that's where it came from. I am loving it. I am absolutely loving this. I think this is one of the best creations I've done. This was a creator inspired. This is Pix Crafts. You will find it on Pinterest, and she's also on Facebook, a YouTube, but I do know that she sells on Whatnot. While I'm speaking of Whatnot, follow me over on Whatnot. You'll find me there. The link I will make sure to put in the description box down below. Check me out. I'm going to start doing some live sales over there, and a lot of these pieces that you see you can find on my website, or I'll be selling them on Whatnot. So you can always purchase if you don't want to create, or you just enjoy watching the DIYs and would like to purchase a finished product. To like, share, leave comments, make any suggestions, ask questions, and if there was something you would like for me to do and make on the channel, by all means, leave it in the comments. I read all of them, and I appreciate the likes. That helps me and YouTube know that you enjoy the channel and you enjoy videos of the like, and they'll be sure to share it with you. If you subscribe, make sure you turn on all notifications so that you receive notifications each time I put a new video up. Be sure to stick around and check out the next video that pops up on the screen at the end of this. This is Elizabeth of Dandy DIY. Until the next DIY, I'll be crafting, y'all.